Did something happen?
Do you happen to recall where Jordan was last night?
She was home, actually. She's been having nightmares. Her college roommate committed suicide. It's taken a real toll on her.
Do you remember any of it?
I'd like to up the dose of Ambien for her, Doctor.
Are you sure this is what you want?
My mother knows best. I trust her.
Whose blood is it, Jordan? Tell me if you hurt somebody!
I protect my child by any means necessary. What if I woke up the bad guy?
Yay! Okay, good.
All right, success.
We're in business. Okay, good.
We are. Hi, Diane. Jeff in Las Vegas. Good afternoon.
Hi, Jeff. Oh, look at your background.
Well, yes, of course. How to do it right just for you.
Thank you. Amazing.
And
Amazing.
I'm really starstruck right now because I'm Generation X. So I grew up watching you, and this is like a total thrill meeting you. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am honored. And I tell you something, it's not a given to be remembered. So I appreciate it. I'm glad that I can still affect people that way.
Not only remembered, but just two of the films that just shaped my teenage years, so that two movies that were just incredibly impactful, and two totally different films, by the way, too. Better Off Dead and Last American Virgin.
Yes.
This is like stepping back in time and just seeing someone that was always there, when I was growing up.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, but I should talk like this. That would be better. Then I don't confuse you.
I'm surprised you don't have a French accent. Yes, that was a very good accent you had.
I know, right? Or I should talk like this also. You never know. What to expect when you actually talk to someone. So.
Well, I'm so thrilled to speak to you today, but for something completely different. I'm known for your drama and your comedy. Now we have a thriller here. Tell us about your latest film, Waking Nightmare.
Oh, okay. This film is a real wild ride. For those of you who are going to see it, is a wild ride. You will be very surprised if you remember me from the 80s, because this character is very different than many of the things I've played. Although, sure, like Last American Virgin, my character wasn't very nice at the end, but Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted Side kind of made it better. And this particular film it's first of all, it's an indie. And the reason why, by the way, I can talk about this, especially with the strike going on, is because it's an indie film and it will be coming out on an indie platform, which is very different, because usually they're like streaming everywhere. You have to search this film out. But the thing about it is that the role that I play is, if you've ever seen a movie of the week I did called Summer Girl, it's similar in that it's not what you expect. I am the character that, I'm like a really nice person, but in this role, a little different. You may feel a little differently about me. So like enjoy the conversation now and then go see it. And then
Could we say you play an overcautious mother? Could we say we get somewhere like that? Okay.
A protective mother.
Right.
A mother who will do anything for her child.
And
I have kids, and I think people do know what that feels like. When you're a nice person, but when it comes to your kids, I mean, boy, people will do anything to a certain extent.
And her daughter's gone through some sort of trauma, so we have to set up why, she's having trouble sleeping. She's having, and things happen when you don't sleep, and I love this film. Is it happening or is it not happening? Because, you're always guessing in this movie.
Yes, it will keep you off balance. I will say this is an important piece of information for those who want to see the film. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I didn't know the film seemed a little short," or like, was it, it went so quickly. And it was actually, there was some additional scenes. There was a scene that they actually hired my daughter for, and my daughter did one scene. And we shot it the last day of filming. And by the way, the whole filming, amazing experience, incredible scenes with Jan Birch and Shelley and David Naughton. Like, we did some great work. The last day of shooting, my daughter's scene was not handled well. It was, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to go no comment, but I will say this. It actually was my own waking nightmare. So I even had to experience the film at the end as a mother. So it's a very interesting film. I almost didn't even do publicity, but I talked to my daughter and we're like, okay, let's see, we came to a discussion about it. But all I can tell you is this film it's heavy duty and it's got a lot going for it. And the one thing I would say is all indie directors always make sure that all your actors are ready to go and willing to do what you need them to do. Don't just try to make them happen in the last minute. Okay.
Well,
that's all I'm just saying.
I won't push it. We'll put it out there. Yeah. But you worked with 2 directors. How was that for an actor? That's not very usual, is it, to have 2 directors on a film?
That's interesting. And it's, I'm not really going to comment on working with the directors because that's part of my deal, but I would say that I've never had 2 directors. So I've always had one. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah.
Well, what I found fascinating about this, it all plays on fears about sleeping and hallucinations and all that world. And I did take Ambien at one point in my life, and I did sleepwalk. My roommates would say, you came out here last night and sat with us. And I'm like, and after they told me that, I threw them away. I would never take that again.
I am really, really glad you said that, because I even know someone who had taken Ambien and then got addicted to it. And then they didn't know that they had gone crazy. They didn't know. They had problems sleeping. I don't know if they did any sleepwalking, but certainly it is a dangerous thing. I had no idea. Because anyway, but it is interesting. And so it is interesting in this story that the girl takes Ambien and, look, anything you put in your body, be careful of. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I haven't taken Ambien in over a decade, but I'm just saying I hallucinated. I had vivid dreams, and I did multiple sleepwalking that my friends told me that I did. And I heard stories about people driving and doing all kinds of crazy things. And also when I woke up off on it, it was bad side effects. So, I got rid of it a long time ago. So I thought that was a perfect setting for this movie, for someone taking that. I'm not commenting officially on the drug. I'm just saying how it affected me. But
and I'm really glad you mentioned it, because that is what hooked you in. Like, you got it. You know, and I'm wondering even if the director and people that he knew, or the writer knew people who were on it and were affected, because it's definitely
it's a
it is interesting what happens when you take a drug. What I really like about the film is the perspective of the person who's on it. So like the lead actress, Sherry Regner, the movie, you'll see like it's trippy, and I think that's like even the credits are what you don't expect. I love it. It's so creative and it's so cool. But the point of view of her, you see how she experiences things. It's like being on a drug trip and seeing, what life is like. And I just thought it was wonderful. And it is in my opinion, you could tell me, a surprising film and an unexpected film.
Yeah, very much so.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to talk to you now in the moments we have left here about Better Off Dead. It was one of the most quoted movies of my teen years. I mean, we knew every word. We watched it all the time. And do you have a favorite memory of that film, or a particular story?
Well, the only problem is I can't talk about it because it's streaming, and like that's the only
is it really? Okay.
Yeah, like those films, like, unfortunately, are streaming. But I did write a book about Better Off Dead. So
okay, I did not know that.
Oh, your whole world will change.
Yes.
It's like the special features that we all wish that came with the film. So if you look up Diane Franklin book, it's called The Excellent Comedy of the Last American French Exchange Babe of the 80s.
Oh, cool.
AKA the Better Off Dead tribute book. So check it out. Check out the book. And you will not be disappointed. It is almost like, if you love Better Off Dead, this is a no-brainer. You get it for Christmas. You do it. Like, I mean, seriously, it is. I got interviews with people in the show, in the cast. I got like Savage Steve Holland sent me all this information that I didn't even know about while I made it. The book, I highly recommend. You will not be disappointed.
I'm getting it the moment we're done here.
And if you, by the way, anybody who gets it, or any of my books, I have 3 books, and that's my 3rd one. I just came out this year, which is probably why you didn't hear about it.
Yes.
It's like word of mouth. All my books are word of mouth. But if you bring it to a convention that I'm at, I'm going to be at like Pensacola in Florida, and then I'm going to be at, I can't say because they didn't announce it yet, but I'm going to be in another one in October. If you do come to any convention I do, then I will sign it for free.
You're
So there
sweet.
you go.
I
So
love it.
gives
Now,
you another incentive.
I don't know if I can say this or not. Were you like one of the most hated women in the 80s for what you did in Last American Virgin? Because you know, it was traumatizing for me. I remember all of us, I mean, that I was like 13 or 14, and that so many guys going through coming of age lived through those characters. And I think you were my first heartbreak. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Where you just were like, you go, what did she do? You know, but
I tell you, when we got that script, we thought, well, you're going to change the ending, right? I mean, obviously, this is not how it's going to end. The director was like, of course, no, this is how it ends. That's what it's going to be, and that's like my story. And I was so that's the first time I learned I'm the actress there, and that's the writer. And never the twain shall meet. But that film, interestingly enough, was I'm just saying, I almost didn't play Monique because Savage Steve Holland saw me as the bad girl. He wanted me more for Beth. So isn't that interesting that I got a chance to switch parts and do Monique? But I myself, more personality, am like Monique.
oh,
So
absolutely, yeah. You were playing a role. I know that very much so. Well, Diane, this is such a thrill. Thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations on your new film, and I can't wait to read the book. And we'll talk again soon, okay? I promise.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on the show. You are awesome. Au revoir.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.